Welcome back, everybody. It's episode 2 of season 2, Fly the Nest, with me, Badgie79. We are looking at the 4 youngsters from Norwich. How have they progressed over this period of time? What will happen next? And will any of them become heroes and legends? Or will they just never reach that potential? Find out here, guys. Fly the Nest, episode 2. So welcome back in, people. We're going to have a little look at Norwich and see where their guys are at and how they're getting on. So obviously at the end of season 2, we already knew that Andrew Ombamadili did not want to sign that new contract with Norwich, and he took himself off to Udinese. Now, how did he get on? We'll review him first. First season in Serie A, no games. 11 games, 3 sub-appearances, a goal, a few assists and things like that for the youth setup and non-competitive games, but nothing for the first team. Now, how did Udinese actually get on last season? So, if we have a little look, they're not 20th. That is where they are this year, purely because they are you. But last season, 11th place, mid-table finish for Udinese. So it's not a bad setup for him. He's in and around the squad. If we have a look, he is in that first team squad. There are a lot of players in that first team squad, but he is one of them. So the opportunity for him to grow and get games this season is still there. But if we go back to Norwich and have a little look. So, Norwich last season in the Prem finished in 12th position. Respectable. 66 goals, 90 conceded. I mean, they are shipping a lot of goals, but they are going full Kevin Keegan. All out attack on it by the look of it. And it's worked out well enough for them. So if we have a little look at the squad, Max Aaron's last season, 35 games, no goals this time, 3 assists, but his average rating has gone down again. Now, bear in mind, Norwich had a better season, but it looks as though Aaron's output is dropping gradually. We'll just review. He's still not had an England call-up, and he is at a 3.5 star. Potential is still on that 5. We'll see if he can keep going and whether he can make it. Josh Martin had his breakthrough season really for Norwich last season in the Premier League. 37 games, 5 goals, 7 assists, 1 player of the match, a 6.85. So again, it's his lowest rating, but I would say arguably that is Josh Martin's best output in the Premier League, and he's delivered. Delivered what he needed to deliver for a winger. It'll be interesting to see how Josh Martin gets on this season. Bali Mumba. First season playing as a centre midfielder for the 21-year-old in the Norwich first team. Bearing in mind, right back is one of his preferred, centre midfield is the other. We had him playing as a deep line playmaker last season. It may not be his best position, but 27 games, no goals, a couple of assists, a 6.52. So again, not ideal, but first season in the Prem, playing in a position that when you look at what he's done previously, may not have been his expected and regular place. But he's not going to get a game at right back because they've got Max Aarons. So, we are going to change up a little bit. We are going to stay in control and guarantee these guys get picked again for a season. The rest of the team will be picked around them. We will then review at the end of season 4 where they're at. And we're going to resign. As simple as that. We will resign from the club, but keep an eye, 100% keep an eye, on the progress of Bali Mumba, Max Aarons, Josh Martin, and Andrew Omabambadili. So guys, year 4, and you can see Norwich City were relegated from the Premier League. Unfortunately, going down on goal difference. Bournemouth with a significantly better goal difference, scoring a hell of a lot less goals, but at the end of the day, it's all about how many you concede. And Norwich defensively, not good enough. Conceding 94, going down 31 points. Well adrift of the teams above, being Newcastle, Watford, but going down with Middlesbrough and Fulham. But how did the players get on? Let's have a little look. So, we can see that Max Aarons not progressing. I mean, he's now gone up to that 4-star rating again. So he's back there. The potential is still there, but it's not coming. He's still not got any England caps. The value has dropped down to 6.5 mil, but that's because now, obviously, he is a championship defender again. In amongst it, last season, 34 appearances, 1 goal, 4 assists, no player of the match awards. So his output essentially is his best over the past 4 years. But his general match rating, 6.66, is his lowest average rating over that 4-year period as well. Obviously, what we done was when we left these guys to it, this was meant to be the fly the nest year. So as soon as we put ourselves on holiday, what we said was these guys are now going to be under the control from the sales point of view as well of the director of football. Previously, they've not been able to go anywhere. There's not been any interaction from the director of football. Players could not be sold. We allowed them to take control this time. So, Josh Martin still stuck around. No one came in for him. His contract is up. A new contract has been offered as a parting gift from you, my good self. But he only played 5 Premier League games last season. A 6.56 average rating. 5 Premier League games. Not good enough. And now they're in the Championship. It'll be interesting to see if Josh Martin carries on as a first-team player in the Championship with Norwich. Barley Mumba played the first 3 games of the season for Norwich and then subsequently sent out on loan straight away to Blackpool, where he then played 35 games, 2 goals, 1 player of the match, an average rating of 6.79. So still not great. Dropped down to League One after playing 27 games in the Prem a year before. And the rating's not gone up, but it's definitely showing that teams are seeing Barley Mumba as definitely more of a right back than a centre midfielder. What happens in the rest of his career will be interesting to see. But for now, that is Barley Mumba. Let's double check the guy who has already left because he didn't want to sign a new contract, and that is Andrew Omobamidele. His stats are looking good. I am not surprised that he left Norwich and went into Serie A with Udinese. But last season, after not playing the first year, he spent last season out on loan in Serie B to Vicenza. And during the course of that season, only played 4 games with a 6.53 average rating. It's not good. It is not good. But Andy will continue his career in Italy. And the rest of the guys will have to continue their careers on their own. Because Badgie is resigning from Norwich. So here we are, guys. The year is 2026 and we are tracking our youngsters from Norwich City. So last season, Norwich got relegated from the Prem. They had 3 years there, but that year, after Badgie resigned, it all went wrong. 18th in the Prem, dropping down into the Championship. But let's see how the players have been getting on. So first up, we have got Andrew Omobamidele. Now, it's no surprise that he has left Udinese and gone to Watford. I don't think anyone is going to be surprised about that, bearing in mind that they just trade players depending on who's doing well at the time. He made one appearance for Udinese, 4 appearances on loan in Serie B for Vicenza, but now back at Watford in the Championship, in which in the 25-26 season, no appearances were made. Now, 3.3 million, it could go to 3.9, but it's not a big signing. Will he stamp his authority down on Watford this year and get a regular place in that Championship team? Next up, we have Bali Mumba. Let's see how Bali Mumba's been getting on. So, he did leave Norwich as well and went to Nottingham Forest for $750,000 after being on loan in America with Austin FC. Played 18 games, but didn't set the place on a light again. And Forest have paid $750,000 for him, and that is it. That is the top whack. There's no additionals in there. Made 9 appearances last season for them, but again, that's it. There's nothing additional. Although I think he may have only come in the January transfer window, so it's only the second half of the season. But again, 6.47 is not a good look. He will be looking to establish himself again. Will he be playing as a centre midfielder or a right back? We shall see. But at the moment, it does not look as though Bali Mumba is going to progress in any shape or form to the level that is expected. Up next, we have Josh Martin, where we will have to put a little bit more effort in because Josh Martin is not flying high there. Now at Swansea. So after the move, had his loan out in America as well with San Jose Earthquakes, where again he didn't do brilliantly. 24 games, 1 goal, 3 assists, 2 player of the matches, but it's not great. £2.5 million move, no add-ons again, to Swansea City, where he made 5 appearances and 1 goal in the second half of last season. Again, Josh Martin, if he's going to succeed, needs to really stamp his authority this year in the Championship at Swansea City. And finally, we have got Max Aarons. Now, Max Aarons, the leading light of these guys, you can see there, transferred to Liverpool. 16.5 million, but it could go up to 22.5 mil. The deal went through. He only made 3 appearances last year. And I'll be honest, Liverpool is an interesting one for him to go to, especially as they still have Trent Alexander-Arnold, I would imagine. They do. He's captain of the club. So Max Aarons is trying to compete at club level and international level with Trent Alexander-Arnold. At the moment, it's not going well for him. It'll be interesting to see whether he sees out the rest of this season at Liverpool or whether there will be a loan from Max Aarons. What we're now going to do, guys, is we're going to forward on 4-5 years and just see where these guys are at when they start to hit the peak of their footballing ability. The ages of 28, 29, we want to see how they've progressed and whether they've met any of the expectations. Hang around, you'll find out.